everyone, it's Hannah Catherine Brand with Eaddy's Craft Room. I have some really exciting news to share with you today. I have designed, written, and published my first quilt pattern, and I am so excited to share it with you and hope that you will join me in the fun. So, drum roll please. This is Garden Sampler. This is a quilt that I designed. It finishes at 92 inches by 72 inches, so it's a nice big size quilt that you and your friends and family will be able to snuggle up in, and it is so much fun to make. I intentionally made the blocks really big so you are able to easily and quickly finish this up. It uses very traditional piecing methods, so if you're a confident beginner or even intermediate, you'll be able to whip this one up in a hurry, especially you advanced quilters out there if you just want something fun and a little bit different. I decided to make a quilt like this because y'all know I love my florals. I love making floral quilts, and also because I love the different row quilts or sampler quilts. So I thought it would be really fun to incorporate a few different types of flowers and then repeat them throughout the quilt in a different order to really mix things up and keep it fun. Of course, if you like only one of the blocks or just a couple of them, you could only make that and then repeat it throughout. Really, the possibilities are endless. This is an easy one that if you want to make it smaller or even bigger, you can just add some extra blocks and really make it your own. Now, I have to tell you about the fabric because I absolutely love it. I used Jelly and Jam by Fig Tree for all of the patterns that you see in here, so all of the color, and then for my background fabric I used Eyelet, also by Fig Tree, so that really worked together well. This fabric is so soft. I was shocked. It might be the softest fabric that I have ever worked with in a quilting cotton, so I was incredibly impressed and cannot wait to get my hands on more fabric from Fig Tree. And for those of you who don't know, Fig Tree is affiliated with Moda Fabrics. Also for the quilting, Sundance Quilting did my quilting. They used a beautiful floral pantograph, which I thought complemented the garden sampler so well, and I'm grateful to them as always for doing such an amazing job with every single one of my quilts that I send their way. I had so much fun working with my great aunt, who is also an Eaddy, to bring you all of these beautiful photos at the beach house this summer. It was the perfect place to photograph this quilt as well as many others so that I could formally launch my website. So if you are interested in purchasing this quilt pattern or just checking out what I have to offer there, it's new and it's growing, but I'm really excited about it, and the photos just add so much to it. You can go to eaddyscraftroom.com. That's Eaddy, E-A-D-D-Y-S, craftroom.com, no apostrophe in Eaddy's, and you can take a look to see what I have going on there. I'm trying to simultaneously upload my videos as quote-unquote blog posts, so if you want to check out my content there as well, you have another easy place to do so, as well as shop patterns. And I took a note from other quilt pattern designers to incorporate any quilt pattern corrections that I may need to add later down the line there. As of right now, there are none, but that could change. I did take the liberty of course, writing the pattern myself, but then making it myself just to make sure everything worked out, and I just would be horrified if someone would purchase the pattern and then it wouldn't work for them, or they would come up empty-handed in terms of the fabric that they needed. So really wanting to double check my work to make sure that you could enjoy making this quilt as much as I did. If you want to purchase this pattern, you can head on over to my website, as I mentioned before. That link there will take you out to my Etsy shop, and you can download either a PDF pattern or you can order a print pattern. I do have the print pattern price just a little bit higher than the PDF just because there is a production cost associated with it. But if you're like me, you love that physical copy and love marking it up and then storing it away for future use. So I hope you feel that the upcharge on that is worth it for those of you who really do value having that physical copy. But for those of you who love the digital one or just want to print it off yourself, please have at it and enjoy. If you order the hard copy, this is what it will look like. It is in this just cellophane sheet, and then you have the color printed cover and then black and white instructions with lots of graphics in there to help you along the way, and very clear big words. That was also important to me. I didn't want to be squinting when I was following instructions. No one has time for that. All of the fabric requirements are going to be on the back. You can see that on my website, which is typical for most quilt patterns, and also all of the information that I have mentioned in this video about the fabric that I used, as well as my website or other places you can follow me online, here on YouTube, of course, and also on Instagram, which I'm really trying to get better about and building up, because it's just so easy and fun to share quick little project updates there. I would love your feedback on what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and I did try and price it competitively just because it is my first quilt pattern, and so there is a little bit of a learning curve, but I really did try my absolute hardest to make sure that the instructions were clear, informative, and that making this quilt would be enjoyable first and foremost, and also just easy to follow. We hate those quilt patterns that are really hard to decipher, so would love your feedback to get my patterns to the best place possible. I had so much fun with this one. I'm actually already working on another one, so really excited to share that one with you soon. But for now, please enjoy Garden Sampler, a 72-inch by 92-inch quilt pattern for confident beginners, intermediates, anyone. I just want anyone to be able to love and enjoy this quilt pattern as much as I have been loving it and love using it. Actually, funny enough, I told you I took this quilt and some others to the beach house. Well, I don't know if any one of you are familiar with beach houses in the South in the summer, but they are cold. They just are always notoriously cold. And so I think my parents used this on their bed. I used some of my other quilts on our bed because we were just so cold at night. So I was really happy to have this photo shoot planned. And it was also really, really funny too, because I packed 2 suitcases, which I generally try and pack light. I hate traveling with too many bags. It is just a headache for me, but I packed my really big suitcase full of quilts and my carry-on was full of my clothes. So how funny is that? It's very obvious where my priorities lay for that trip. I cannot wrap this video up without, of course, thanking my great-grandmother Eaddy, who taught me to sew and ignited my love for handmade items, my parents, who have always been wonderful and actually really encouraged me to start this channel over a year ago and have supported me along the way, my great aunt who helped photograph, oh my goodness, also Gumbo, who is joining me, just jumped up on my chair, my cat, my great emotional support most of the time, my husband, and last but certainly not least, all of you. Thank you so much. I would not be here if it were not for this tremendous quilting community that I have had the pleasure and honor of interacting with online. You all have welcomed me into this community with wide open arms. Your generosity has been apparent since day one, and I am incredibly grateful to be just a small piece of it. Wow, this has just been such a journey. For those of you who don't know, I started quilting about 2 years ago, so it's very new. I learned here on YouTube, and I'm just really grateful for the content creators that helped inform me and still inform me along the way. It has really turned in from me just loving this craft to me wanting to take an active role in helping others create, because it has brought me such joy. I've said this before and I'll say it again, you know, quilting has brought back a feeling that I thought I lost in childhood, and I hope that doesn't sound sad, but I just remember kind of mourning that Christmas morning feeling, you know, which I felt like I had lost as I got older. And now with quilting, when it comes to picking out new fabrics and finishing a quilt and gifting it to someone or getting started on a new project, that feeling, it's just it's often and frequent in me as an adult, and I'm really grateful to have that back because I think that that's rare and something that unfortunately too many adults don't get back after childhood. So really just grateful for that and to have discovered this and been so welcomed here. Also, for those of you who don't know, I started this YouTube channel shortly after actually I was laid off from a job I really loved last year. And so in really one of the darker times of my life, I decided to start sharing more about this craft that I was new to and something that I loved, and was just shocked at the response that I had received from it and felt inspired and encouraged to continue. And you all inspire and encourage me every single day to continue doing this. And so it really just is a dream come true to not only have a hobby that I love, but also to have a community that also loves that hobby and supports me in my own endeavors. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are still here, you are a real one. I hope you enjoy Garden Sampler, and I look forward to sharing with you more crafting updates in the future, but especially also sharing my own original designs with the world. Thank you, and I will see you next time here in Eaddy's Craft Room. Bye-bye.